Ivan the producer.
Let's see. What's up, guys? What is good? Let me know if you guys can hear me. Give me a one in the chat if you guys can hear me. Let me know. Let me know, please. I'd appreciate it. We still getting used to the streaming on YouTube. Appreciate you, Carlos. Thank you, bro. Thank you. First and foremost, guys, how was your guys' week? How was your guys' trading week? Did you guys trade a lot? Did you guys sit tight? What did you guys trade? Did you guys have a negative week, a positive week? Talk to me, guys. Let me know. Let me know. Very, very interested in knowing what you guys were trading this week and how you ended the week, whether it was a positive or a negative. Um, but I do want to give you guys the chance. I do see it's a small call as of right now, and it is a Friday night. People will trickle in a bit later as they usually do. However, I wanted to give you guys the opportunity and ask you guys if you guys wanted to have a Q&A session. It's the beginning of the year. you know I really want to help you guys. So if you guys have any questions, maybe it's a setup that you guys were looking at this week. Maybe you guys hit stop loss. Maybe you guys want to show off a little bit. If you guys want to go ahead and show me the trades that you guys won, we could talk about why they didn't work, why they did work so well. So yeah, if you guys have any questions at all, let me know. I am watching the chat right now, but there is a delay. Um, so we're still working on streaming on YouTube. But as of right now, I gotta work with the chats. So if you guys have any questions, just go ahead and drop them into the chats, and I will try my best to get to them. But if nobody has any questions, I see Candy had a positive life, no trade. Let's go. I hear you. I hear you. Um, any pairs you guys would like to trade back test? Any pairs you guys would like to back test? Let me know. Let's go ahead and get to it though. Let's go ahead and get to it though. Let me see. Just waiting for my charts. So this was NAS, right? I was looking at NAS this week. So let's go ahead and get into this. I'm gonna put this away. Give me a second. I'm so finicky about my screen. I was back testing yesterday. That's why it's out there. Um, but the indices, right? When we look at the indices, I'm looking at the indices and I'm thinking the market is still bullish. Like, yes, we had a massive pullback from this area, dropping it all the way down, but we barely missed this starting point here, and we're continuing to rise. Now, I would like to see if we can go ahead and continue to rise to the upside. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Thought I was drawing still. And continue to rise to the upside, right? So when I'm looking at the indices and I go to higher time frame, right, the market looks bullish to me, right? I really don't pay attention to a whole lot of pullbacks. I don't really think a lot of these pullbacks are ever like, oh, the market's bearish. When the market is bullish and the market's letting me know, we're continuing to go higher, I want to go ahead and continue to ride those waves, right? So I believe this is a weekly starting point here. We have a weekly starting point here, right? We have a break of structure to the upside. So I'm looking at this, and as the market is going up higher, right? We have a higher high, higher low. We go up higher, higher high, and higher low. We go up higher. As the market is moving aggressively to the upside, I'm already thinking in my head the market is due for a fat retracement to continue going higher in the future, right? Because not only do I look for starting points, right? Not only do I look for starting point opportunities, but when the market is in an uptrend, I like to look for inverted head and shoulders. So even if the market does bounce off this starting point in respect, sometimes the market is going to drop it down one more time and then continue going higher. And then it just gives you the head and shoulder that we're looking for. We have the break of structure to the downside, and then we'll have the change of direction to the upside. And this is what I'm looking for, right? And then sometimes, you know, as the market is dropping lower and violates this starting point here, right? Because we were looking for buys there. Oops. We were looking for buys there. Can I? Oh, let me see. Exit. We were looking for buys because of the break of structure to the upside, right? But there's a lower starting point down here that we forget about sometimes, right? And a lot of the times the market comes down to this zone and then it'll continue going higher. And that's how we get some of those inverteds. It sucks because sometimes we have to take one of these losses here, right? If you're taking this on the first touch and the first opportunity, it may give you some profit, and that's why you have to have some good money management. You know, at your 1-to-1s and 1-to-2s, you have to start clicking buttons and moving your stop losses around, start taking partials and things like that, right? Because we always have fresh zones, and not only do we want to continue here, like I want to continue with the starting points, but sometimes the starting points fail, and when they fail, that's when we get the inverted head and shoulders, right? And that's when we can continue to go higher. Give me a 2 if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. If you need me to explain that again, give me a question mark, and I'll wait. Give me a 2 if that makes sense, and give me a question mark if you want me to run that back one more time. We good? Thank you, Kenny. Thank you, Kenny. So look at this. So we had a starting point right here. Let's just go ahead and delete all this stuff so we have a fresh eye. Let's backtest. Now, looking at this, what are we thinking, guys? What are we thinking? If we're looking at a break of structure to the upside and the market is bullish, what are we thinking in our head? What should we be thinking, guys? Let me know. I want you guys to talk with me. Let me know what you're thinking in your mind, because we're backtesting. I don't want you guys just to watch me. I want you guys to help me, you know. Thank you, Kenny. Right? I want us to help each other. Right? We're looking for buys. If we can see the market is in an uptrend, guys, I want to continue with that flow of the trend. Can you take sell opportunities? Yes. But I personally like to try my best to continue with the trend, right? I love to continue the trend continuations personally. Not saying that I don't take counter trends, but you know, I'm a very, 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 very heavy continuation trader. So when I'm looking at this, I'm seeing this as a starting point here. So at this moment in time, is this zone a buy opportunity? Yes or no? Let me know, guys. Yes or no? Is this a buy opportunity? We have buy opportunity number 1 and buy opportunity number 2. Now, when the market comes down, guys, right? When the market comes down, we want to see structure. Now, as soon as we get structure, we have to start marking it up. This is going to help us so much. So much. You guys have no idea. We have a break of structure to the downside. This is now my change of direction to the upside. So if the market wants to start heading back up now, once it breaks and closes above this, we're going to start heading out now. Give me a 5 if that makes sense. Give me a question mark if you are confused about that. Right, that's exactly what I want to see. Once I see the market break and close and make its way above this line, I'm like, okay, cool. We have the confirmation that we're looking for. Let's start looking for some buy opportunities so we can shift that market up. Okay, now if the market continues to go down, all we have to do is continue adjusting these zones. Right, you don't need to draw a million BOSs and change of direction lines. Just continue dropping them down. right? And again, you can be in this trade. You could be in this trade from here. I don't like stacking a negative, so I'm not going to take, a trade here and a trade here and a trade here and a trade here and a trade. I'm not going to take, a ton of trade. I'm going to take one test trade and wait for my confirmation. Okay, so technically, even if you got in here and the market goes lower, you're still in with the test trade. You're just in negative, right? And until we get this change of direction, that's when we can start throwing down that 1% in this area. We could find our starting point, our inverted, and send that market higher. Okay, so just to clarify. Or you can simply just wait. Like, you don't have to test trade it. You can just wait and be like, you know what, I'm just going to wait because technically we don't have confirmation yet. The market can still go down. Now, if that happens, what do we do, guys? If the market continues to make structure and drop down to the downside, we continue to adjust our zones. It's as simple as that, okay? Now, again, I would like to buy at this blue box. That's my zone. That's what I'm waiting for. But sometimes the market likes to go ahead and change direction. So if I see this, if I know the market is right here right now, and we change direction and we miss this buy zone, hey, it is what it is. Let's see if we can find a new opportunity and send the market higher. Give me an 8 if that makes sense, right? Whether that's the brand new starting point here, or maybe that's the inverted head and shoulder to the downside, whatever zone you prefer, right? We're looking for some buy opportunities. Now, I would like to see if we can get into an opportunity down here, right? That's first and foremost. I would like to see if we can get into an opportunity down there, okay? So same rules apply. As the market drops, we continue to adjust our zones. That's my new BOS. This is my change of direction. And as soon as we break and close above, guys, we could start looking for some new opportunities. This was obviously not the zone that the market wanted. We could start looking for our brand new starting point or our inverted head and shoulder to the upside. So we could start looking for this move here and shift that market higher and continue with that uptrend. Give me a 2 if that makes sense, and give me a question mark if you are confused about that. That's why it's super important, one, to understand structure, right? Higher highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower low, higher high, higher low, higher high. It's super, you need to understand that. That's first and foremost. And when you can see and follow the trend and follow the structure shift, which is this here, super important, guys. That's half the battle. Trend is like 60 to 70% of the battle, in my opinion. Waiting for this structure shift to happen here is the other. You just have to wait. So let's go ahead and see. All right. Taking forever now. Oops. So now let's drop down to lower time frame. Let's take a look. If we want, we can go ahead and adjust to this starting point here. Now let's see. Let's see the play button. So the market is in our zone already. Let's drop down to the 4-hour time frame. So at this time, you can test trade if you'd like, right? You can test trade if you like. Let's play this back one more time because this is important. You need to understand the structure, because once you understand, like, oh snap, we didn't change direction, right? We had a BOS to the downside. At this moment in time, this is now my change of direction. Okay, let's continue. Market pulls back and we drop down lower. Awesome. We continue to adjust our zones. We continue to adjust our zones. So at this moment in time, you can go ahead and test trade this area. This isn't like the best risk to award as of right now because it's super huge. That's a big stop loss, and the TP would be right here. If we would get into something, maybe this starting point, that would give us something a bit better, right? So I would like that setup over the daily, right? We went from the weekly to the 4 hour. I'm sorry, weekly, daily, down to the 4 hour, right? So if you were someone who is playing on the daily, right, that was your test trade, right? You possibly test traded here. Now let's see, right? Let's see if the market changes direction, because the market gives you profit. The market gives you profit. Now, what's going to happen if you don't use your risk management and your money management, right? And you don't break even or move or take some partials off the playing field? What happens is you give the money right back, and sometimes you even hit your stop loss. Now let's see. This is something that I would test trade, right? This is something that I would test trade, because that's the lowest zone in this area, the lowest starting point, and this gives you a better risk to reward if I was chasing the high, right? A 1 to 3.5. So let's see. But now this is the thing. I have to go ahead and adjust my lines. So let's take a look. We changed direction here. But the thing is, we hit stop loss. And sometimes that even happens too. Nothing we can even do about that. But again, that's why this is the test trade. So if you end up throwing down big lots, there's nothing you can do about that, because this is already 344. But if your broker allows minis and things like that, where you have more control of the outcome, this can be, a $35 loss or a $3 loss. So you're testing that zone out, right? Now look, check me out. Now at this point, and I think the market goes lower, but this is the thing, right? We have to act like it hasn't played out yet. This is now my change of direction line. So now take a look. I'm gonna move this zone. This is my new starting point. This is the last selling candle before this massive breakout rally. Okay. This is my shoulder. Now I'm gonna go to the daily time frame just to confirm structure real quick. Okay, cool. So now on the daily time frame, this is my change of direction. Notice this is the very, very last pullback. Lower low, lower high. We go lower. Now the market is on its way back up. Okay, so this area is super important. If we can break and close above this, the market will go higher. Or we can expect the market to go higher, right? Very strong instincts. Now let's take a look. The market starts to consolidate, but does the market hold? No, it hits your stop loss, right? And again, this is the thing. This was our daily starting point. This is a very, very important area. I would have personally liked it if this consolidation here could have broken out a little bit. If we could have broken out and then started to range, I would have liked this buy a lot better. Now let's take a look. Let's reanalyze on the daily. Because right now the market is playing with your emotions. It knows you want to buy. And it's even showing you the structure that we want to see. Right? But this is why it's also important to understand the internal structure and the external structure. Because if you're on the higher time frame, this is that structure. Lower low, lower high, and a lot of people get caught up in this structure, including myself. Oops. Including myself sometimes. Right? And this is why, like when you see this, I like to call this the setup inside of the setup. Right? And sometimes those hit. Where you're looking at bigger structure like this, lower low, lower high, and it's on its way down, it's creating this little structure. And as soon as we peak below this low and change direction here, there's times where this market will respect and then give us the main change of direction, right? It'll go ahead and give us this zone and this structure. So then we're looking for the next move, which is now down here, and we continue going higher, right? So that's exactly what that looked like. But the thing is I would have felt a lot more comfortable if we can break it, if we could have broken close above that. That would have gave me like, okay, cool. Now this makes me feel a lot more confident. Let's go ahead. So there's a ton of equal highs here. So I'm still seeing incentive to the upside. That's first and foremost, right? I'm still seeing incentive to the upside. There's a whole ton of money still hanging out up there. And the thing is also, is there's a whole lot of money hanging out down here, right? So maybe the buys aren't ready yet. Maybe the buys aren't ready yet. And when you start to zoom out too, right? When you start to zoom out too, you can see this stuff. You can see the liquidity being built up, right? There's still incentive for the market to drop lower and take this out and then continue going higher, right? And then on the opposite side, if you're looking for the market to drop down and then continue going higher, it is leaving liquidity here. It's leaving the trend line. It's leaving that liquidity. So right now, it's playing a game of liquidity and cat and mouse. So let's go ahead and continue. The market drops lower. Now I'm gonna go ahead and put a line right here, and that's where the first touch of my liquidity starts. The first touch of my liquidity starts. So all I need, even though I want buys to come here, even though I want buys to come down here, all I really need to see is the market to sweep this liquidity and change direction right here, and we can start looking for buys. I've seen time and time again, including the back testing, and you guys will see too on these calls, right? Once I see this liquidity swept, boom, all those stop losses got hit. And I see structure shift from break of structure to the downside, or liquidity being swept to my change of direction to the upside. Time and time again, I've seen structure be respected, and the market continues to the upside. There's going to be times where we look for zones, and we want the market to come and get us, but sometimes the market will miss us by a couple pips. The market will miss us by a couple pips, but as long as we focus on moving and adjusting our lines, and we can see the setup that we want to see, we can try our best to capitalize when it's time to. Give me a 6 if that makes sense, and give me a question mark if you are confused about that. Let me know. I know I gotta wait. So now let's take a look. This is my line. So now this is my BOS to the downside. This is my change of direction line. But look at what the market did again. It's leaving more liquidity, more equal highs. So there's still more incentive to go higher, right? There is still more incentive to go higher. Now let's take a look. What's the date today when this happened? This was the 20th. No. This is November. Okay, cool. Let's continue. Okay, cool. Let's take a look. I'm looking at this right now, guys, and this does not look clean to me. I don't know if that looks clean to you, but personally, especially this moment in time, right? I gotta trade it like this is what I'm seeing it for the first time. If I don't really like when the market clears liquidity and then makes more liquidity and then takes off. I don't like when the market does that. Okay, usually when I see that, I would like to see the market run these lows one more time and then we change direction, right? So let's take a look and see if that's what it does. Maybe it takes off from there, right? Maybe it takes off from there. But again, the market did take liquidity. Let's take a look. We can follow structure, BOS at the downside. Technically, this is my change of direction. Let's see if the market respects this structure or if it continues to go higher. Now, just me based off of this, and seeing the liquidity here, I would not be the one to take the market or take this trade first touch as soon as it touches. I would not be the one to take that. Why? Because I see this. So for me, if I'm looking at that, or if I see this, I'm following structure down again. I have to, right? It's going to make me more comfortable and it's going to make me stick to my rules. If I see the structure respect this and go higher and change direction, then I'll go ahead and take this one and shift the market back up, right? But if it doesn't do this, then I'm not taking the buys. So now let's take a look. Now again, keep in mind we had just taken liquidity, so let's go ahead. Now already just seeing this push up to the upside, this is looking good. Even though I don't like this, liquidity, this strong push up to the upside, this is looking good. Now again, I know a lot of people are looking for sells in this area. But if I want buys, these sellers have to get clapped. These sellers have to get clapped. Okay? Now that I'm thinking, right, the buys are now in order. I see a break of structure to the upside there. I see a starting point. Now the thing is I also see liquidity here. I see consolidation building. Now I would like the market to come down and pick me up here. I would love that, right? But right now, if the market just sweeps this and continues, then I'm going to go ahead and take my buy opportunities there, right? So let's take a look and see what happens. Oops. Okay, cool. Looks like the market missed me, right? Sometimes, guys, that'll happen. Nothing we can do about that. We just have to mark up. I can easily see the market took my liquidity, or took liquidity. Now, I would like to see the market, right, left shoulder, neckline. I wanted the market to pick me up, but if the market can change direction, let's see if we can continue with the buy opportunities. Give me a 3 if that makes sense. That's the thing, guys. Like when you wait and you're just like, I'm gonna wait right here, and then you're like, oh man, the market missed me. Like it's okay. Like sometimes the market's gonna miss you by a couple pips. Like let's count the pips. The market missed you by 35 pips, right? And that right there is probably gonna go ahead and 35 pips is gonna go ahead and run the highs probably, right? So let's go ahead and take a look. Let's go ahead and take a look. Do we change direction? Yes, that's exactly what we want to see. More signs of bullishness, right? More signs of bullishness. If the market just drops down and I don't see this, then the market can just continue to drop down, right? So I want to see this. This tells me the buyers are still in control as of right now, right? And this gives me a new setup, so hopefully I can participate in the future and continue writing those buys, right? So as of right now, this is my starting point, and I'm just gonna leave it like that because technically this is your stop loss anyway, so it is what it is, right? This is the next buy opportunity in order, right? As my left shoulder, head, change of direction, right shoulder, continue, right? Let's take a look. So the market's already in the sell zone, right? The market is already in that sell zone. Let's see if it honors the sell. So notice how we already break and close above and we're consolidating. I like to see that. Let's go to the 4-hour time frame. And it looks like, let me see. We do change direction. Now again, guys, like I'm only on the 1 hour time frame, 4 hour time frame. I'm not really dropping down lower. We probably could be catching a lot of these if we drop down to the 5 minute. But I just want to keep your eyes very, very simple on the 1 hour, right? Because structure is the same. Now, we see that we changed direction. Let's go ahead and confirm that. Those cells were not, they were not it. Change of direction, they were not it. But now we have a starting point here. Starting point for buys. Starting point for buys. Now, I'm looking at this and I'm still seeing liquidity here. It's not my favorite. However, if the market wants to go ahead and take those lows and change direction, I'm down to see if we can take these and send the market back up, right? But let's take a look. If the market taps in, we could start taking some opportunities. Consolidate. Oh, this is already what? This is Christmas, right? This is Christmas. Oh, no, this is a couple days after Christmas. My bad. So the market taps in. Awesome. Let's see what happens. Right now, I'm looking at this. I know a lot of people are looking at this like a head and shoulder. Left shoulder, neckline, head, change of direction. But I don't want to see, when the market is bullish and we haven't really bounced off of anything specific, like we're in the middle of consolidation here, right? So I'm not really going to bite on this head and shoulder that they're trying to throw in front of me. I want to see it inverted. So I'm going to look at it with the inverted eye. This is my left shoulder, my neckline, my head, my change of direction, right? If you want to see it like a head and shoulder violation, okay, I get it, right? But I want to see if we can continue. So let's take a look. We for sure could have caught this on lower time frame. Let's take a look. All right, awesome. So look, we already know we're in a starting point. I believe this is the 1 hour, right? Yeah, we're in a 1 hour starting point, and we want to go higher, right? I'm not gonna bite on every sell opportunity I see. I know the trend, and the trend is uptrend. So what am I looking at? I'm seeing the market drop down, give me a break of structure to the downside. This is my change of direction line as of right now. I see the market drop down, pull back, drop down lower. So let's adjust my lines. This is now my change of direction line. We can see the market broke and closed above that. This is the next one in order. But now check me out, guys. Look at the structure that's given. Look at the structure that's given right here. Left shoulder, neckline, head, change of direction. But look at how strong that push is. This last selling candle, this is my starting point. My left shoulder here. Now, if we can get the market again to break and close above and consolidate a little bit, maybe even go higher, that's even better. They're going to save this zone for later, and all we have to do is wait, right? This gives me more confirmation, right? If I go to the 15-minute, this structure here probably goes away, which means this structure here is the dominant structure, the higher time frame dominant structure. So let's take a look. Let's go to the 15. Yes, so now look at this is the higher time frame dominant structure. So we need to see this change of direction happen on this 15. If we can see that, we can feel a lot more comfortable taking this trade down here. Let's drop down to the 5. Let's take a look. Boom, we broke and closed above. Awesome. That's exactly what I want to see. Cool. I'm going to go ahead and delete this for clarity. Now I can see opportunities right here, but I want to wait for this opportunity down here. I'm already seeing something. Look at this. Look at what look at what they're leaving behind. Equal highs. They're telling us, hey, we do want to go higher. We definitely want to go higher, but we're not ready yet. We're not ready yet. We're not ready yet. I'm gonna go ahead and drop a little bit. And then we're not ready yet. But look at what they're leaving us. A whole lot of liquidity. They're letting you know, they're hinting at you, hey, we want to go higher, but we're not ready yet. Okay? So let's go ahead and take a look. Look at how they just leave it there. Look at how they just leave it there. One touch, two touch, three touch. We start to slope down where we have four touch, right? And then we start making some trendline liquidity. Something like this. I usually don't draw these types of liquidity a whole lot. I usually just draw the equal highs. But we also have this. So that's letting me know like there's a lot of money sitting on this upside. Okay? Now let's take a look. Market taps into our area. Let's go ahead and trade this. I'm going to go ahead and buy it. This is my stop loss. We'll just go ahead and give it some room. We'll give it 30. Now the thing is I would love to take this high. Minimum, right? I would love to take that high. Now, but the thing is I want to continue with the trend. I want to continue with this trend. So I would like to even see if I can continue and take this high. That's when the market came back, right? That's when the market made its way, made this starting point here. Let's confirm. The market took off, made that U-turn, and came back for you right here. So I want to see if we can go ahead and make higher high, higher low, and make higher high. Give me an 8 if that makes sense. I'm watching it right now and I can see that it's not it's not there yet. Oh wow, I didn't notice it was that far back. Yeah, but let me know. Let me know if that makes sense. My bad. My bad guys. I'm watching it. I'm trying to see like where we are. Cool. I'm starting to see you guys tap in. All right, bet. Cool. Cool. Awesome. And that's first and foremost, right? I would love to see if we can get that. But again, guys, like I know we're continuing to the upside, so just keep this in mind, right? And I don't know if this happens. I don't know. The market could have dropped. I don't know. But I would like to see if we can continue to the upside. I forget what happens actually. But let's take a look. Let's close this. We don't need this open, right? Let's drop back down to that 5-minute. Let me see. I don't see a chart in here. Hold on. Let me actually check. Let me check the stream real quick. Yeah, I don't see any links in here. Are you able to send links? Oh wait, hold on. Let me change this. Yeah, I don't see any links, bro. I'm not sure if you could send links. I can see if we can try in the future. Um, but if you got me on Telegram, go ahead and send it to me on Telegram. But dang, we'll have to see about that in the future. But let's go ahead and take a look. Let's take a look, guys. Look at check this out. Let's play it out. We have to respect the structure always. We have to respect the structure always, right? This is my closest BOS. marking up, guys, is going to help you understand if you are right or wrong. So let's take a look. The market breaks and closes above. Awesome. So let's see if the market continues. Right? We're already at a 1-to-1. So I like to take partials at 1-to-1s. So let's see. Oh, I can't. I can't because it's only one lot. All right, then. Well, then let's go ahead and run it. So I don't break even till 1-to-2. So it is what it is. I got to take the loss if that's what it is. But the market also respects this shoulder. Look at that. Look at how it changed direction. This could have been your second opportunity. Stop loss at the low. And again, even if you ran this high, that's fire. That's already a 1-to-3. But again, we want to continue to run. We want to run this high. So just keep in mind, we could be in 2 trades right now. Okay? Keep in mind, we could be in 2 trades right now. Let's also keep that there just so we can understand where we should be having money management. Because that's already 1-to-3. This should be our break even. I already know this trade's out of 1-to-2. Right? This trade's out of 1-to-2. This trade should be our break even. Let's confirm. So now this bottom trade is risk free. Right? 1-to-3 is the minimum we need. After that, it's just letting a small lot run. Guys, after that, it's just letting a small lot run. This one, let's go ahead and continue because we didn't take it. I don't want to waste no time. We continue going higher. Obviously, we could have been in this and hit TP. You can be out of this trade already, guys. This trade here, you can be out of this trade already. That's a winning trade. You're up 3%. This trade here, let's take a look. Let's really see if we would have been in this. Let's take a look. Because again, let's clean up for visual purposes. We never moved our stop loss. All right, but now let's see. So a 1-to-1, we would have taken partial. Now let's see where a 1-to-2 is, because a 1-to-2 is where we break even. So we may have hit break even on this trade, which is not too bad. So a 1-to-2. 1-to-2 hits your break even again. Or it hits your entry again. Hits your entry again. Hits your break even line. You would have moved your stop loss to break even before the market took off. So this trade, unfortunately, you wouldn't have caught it. The market would have hit you break even. And like if you follow your money management, like that should happen, and you should know that, right? Like you should know. So that's okay. Like there's nothing wrong with that. You hit break even, but you just won a trade as well. So now let's take a look. Let's let this run. So look, we can already be out this trade. I'm gonna go ahead and close it and be up. But look, let's take a look. Let's see if this continues to run. I don't know. So look at that, guys. When we have hit take profit, did this higher low make a new higher high? Let me know, guys. Literally. Higher high, higher low, market made new highs. If you are focused on the swing, right? If you like to swing trades, which I love to swing trades, I love to hold opportunities, right? Your stop loss would have been, what would we say, 30 pips? 30 pips, this was your swing opportunity. That's a 1 to 10.5, guys. 1 to 10.5. And not to say that this happens all the time, right? Because it doesn't, right? The market doesn't make it easy to catch these trades. However, when you focus on the structure, guys, it happens, right? But not only that, we were on the 5-minute trying to catch the lowest night possible. The market even gave us an opportunity on the 15-minute. Notice how we have, you don't need to drop down to the 5 too, guys. Like, I don't want to make it to like, oh, Vinny dropped down to the 5, so I have to. No, I want you to drop down to a time frame that you feel comfortable, because structure is the same. Notice we didn't change direction until this blue candle here. So we don't have this as a left shoulder until this blue candle here. It's very important, guys. We don't have a change of direction confirmation until we have a candle break and close. So on this time frame, this blue candle here was our confirmation for this left shoulder, right? This left shoulder isn't valid until we have this change of direction. Okay, give me a 5 if that makes sense. Same stop loss as your 5-minute, right? You can keep it down here. Yes, we're risking a bit more, but guys, it is what it is, right? And again, if your broker supports minis, this can be a $6.24 loss. This can be, a $16 loss. This can be a $20 loss. If your broker allows you to have that much more control with the minis, it helps out. But nonetheless, guys, the structure is there. You didn't need to drop down to the 5-minute to try to catch the snipe. Yes, the market plays with your emotion a little bit, right? Puts you in negative, puts you in profit, puts you in negative, puts you in profit, puts you back at break even, puts you at profit, and you're like, oh man, dude, this is gonna hit my stop loss. Then what happens? Market takes off and continues to run. Right? But now let's take a look. 1-to-1. You don't hit 1-to-1 until this wick right here. Right? You don't hit 1-to-1 until this wick right here. Okay? So you could have partialed, right? I would have partialed. 1-to-2, you don't break even until right here. So look, I already know if you're seeing that you just broke even because of this wick, and you're watching this candle right here drop all the way down, I already know you're just like, please don't hit my break even. Please don't hit my break even. You're making it tough to make me catch these buy opportunities. Please don't hit me break even. Trust me, guys, I've been there too. I'm like, bro, you're making it so hard today. Why are you making it hard? Just follow my freaking rules. Follow my zones. Trust me, guys, I've been there, right? But look at, when you follow these rules, guys, they do help out a lot. You should have moved your stop loss to break even, and again, we would have attacked these highs. And this gives you a 1 to 4.5. Guys, you don't need the 1 to 10s. They'll come naturally, I promise. They do. When you continue to advance, you easily go from 1 to 3 minimum to 1 to 4 to 1 to 6s, and you just start to leap as you go, right? So just keep that in mind. Like, you want to drop down to the time frame that makes you feel comfortable, right? Give me a 10 if that makes sense, and give me a question mark if you are confused about anything right now. Let me know. Awesome. Let's jump to higher time frame. Now again, I want the buys down here. I want to see the market come back to these areas. So let's take a look. Let's speed it up and play it down to today. Awesome. So now look, guys. Let's see. Did the market sweep these highs? Yes, it did. It did take some of this liquidity here. But look, did it make some more? Yes, it did. So the incentive is still there. Right? The incentive is still there. So now let's take a look. I have a left shoulder here as well. So let's see, guys. That's my BOS to the downside. This is my change of direction line. Let's take a look. Let's drop down to the 1 hour. Guys, this is why it's so important to mark up your zones. This is why it's so important to mark up your zones. All we had to do was listen. And if you were taking buys, other than this test trade, right? If you were taking buys a bit too early and trying to chase this buy out, you would have gotten stopped out. So now let's continue to adjust. Now let's see. Is this today? I wanted to go to today. Where's today? Oh, we're still a couple days. No worries though. All right, let's take a look. Let's go to the 4 hour real quick though, because I see a 1 hour starting point right there. I also see an inverted. Let's go to the 4 hour real quick. All right, the 4 hour is this as my starting point. Let's go back down to the 1 hour. So let's take a look. The market respected that starting point for sure and continued to go higher. That's the structure we want to see, guys. Don't be scared. Like, I'll be like, oh man, we missed it. Don't think that, because the market will make its way back. Right now, if you miss this opportunity here, then you missed it. Like, yes, you will miss some, but this one right here is what we don't want to miss. Right? We need the market to change direction, but we also need the market to come back. Once the market gives us this, we have to do our best to catch this one here to send that market higher. Okay, so let's take a look and see what happens. Where are we at now? All right, I think we're near Christmas now. Let's go to the 4 hour. I want to go near today. Okay, because this was the zone. I just didn't know how long it took. Yeah, start new. Oh, nah, my boy. Stop it, G. All right, so look, guys, check me out. Again, when we get this structure, we don't care about missing this. You know, we would love to catch this. We can test trade this. We can definitely throw a 1%er, right? Because again, we've been getting confirmation, right? Confirmation in an uptrend is what? Inverted, right? So I would have loved taking an opportunity here. That's first and foremost. However, for extra confirmation, guys, don't ever worry about missing or thinking, oh, I just missed the opportunity. Ah, oh, don't ever think that, because we want the market to make that U-turn and come back for us, pick us up, and continue going higher, right? We want to see that. So if you miss this, hey, it's okay. Somebody else caught it. Tip your cap. Just be like, you know what? I'm going to catch the next one. So let's go ahead. Oh, darn. Click too quick. We'll go ahead and put 2 just for the purpose. All right. We'll go ahead, move our stop loss, our take profit. We'll confirm for now. Let's go ahead and just run the 1 to 3 risk to award. Awesome, that's fine. All right, where's our 1 to 1 at? Because we need to take partials. Okay, let's go ahead and see. 1 to 1 already happened. Awesome. Let's go ahead and sell half of our order because we're in buy. So let's go ahead and sell it. So you should see this 536 change. You should see it split. Boom. So now we have some profit. Now let's go ahead and mark it up. This is our BOS to the downside. We would like to see the market change direction to the upside. Okay, so let's go ahead and move our 1 to 2 because this is where we break even. Market hit our break even, so let's go ahead and adjust. Let's confirm. Awesome. Let's go ahead and do a 1 to 3. Or let's just go ahead and hit this, right? That's our take profit goal anyway. So let's delete this. So now let's continue. The market continues in our favor and gives us the change of direction that we want to see. Awesome. I love to see that. Let's go ahead and draw up our zones. We have another left shoulder along with another starting point here, right? So let's go ahead and take a look. The market comes into our zone. Let's take a look and see what happens. We could take another opportunity. We're in profit. Awesome. Is that the end of the market? That was literally today's trade, guys. This was today's trade. Guys, you know how simple it is to wait for zones when you backtest? When you backtest all the way to live price, sometimes you're going to backtest, guys, and the market's going to be like this. Oops. You're going to backtest sometimes, guys, and the market's going to be like this. Oh, my goodness, bro. You're going to backtest, and you're going to see, oh, snap. One, I already identified the trend. Market's bullish, right? So I already know I'm looking for buys, right? You're going to have buying structure that you're waiting for, whether it's down here or right here. You're going to see this stuff. You're going to see all the buy opportunities. So you're telling yourself, okay, cool. I'm either waiting right here or I'm waiting down here. This is already taken. We can delete this. So buy opportunity 1, buy opportunity 2. So let's take a look. Now we just have to run our odds, right? We can't be chicken littles, right? We have to do what we have to do. Our job is to find the trend, find the setup, and take the opportunities as they come. We have to run our risk to reward, right? Because even if this trade took a loss, guys, even if this trade took a loss, bro, it is what it is. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? I'm not worried about if the market hits my stop loss because, one, I already know the trend. The trend is an uptrend, so I got to look for buys, right? It's either going to respect the zone and go higher, or it's going to hit stop loss, go to another zone, respect that one, and then go higher. So I'm running my risk to reward. So even if I hit a stop loss here, okay, cool. I'm down -1. Awesome. It is what it is. I hit this trade for a +3. +3 equals +2. Guys, that is all I need. I don't need, +20 every time I trade. Every time I trade is not a +20, right? Sometimes with running your risk to reward, you're going to get +3s, +2s, maybe even just a +1, and you have to be okay with that. Guys, imagine doing +1 every day. Not that I, promote trading every single day. I personally think, if you take less trades, you end up making more. That's just my mindset. But imagine there's 7 days, right? There's 7 days a week, or 5 trading days. There's 5 trading days. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Imagine just focusing on 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. At the end of the week, you're up +5%. you're up plus 5%. But everybody wants to do, you know, plus 6, plus 4, you know, plus 7, plus 4, plus 8. And then you know what they end up with? Negative 12. They give money back. Because they be taking way too many trades trying to compensate for some of those losses. That's why they're trying to go for all of these big wins. But really, guys, if you just did the math, and this is just like common sense, right? Even if you did this, simple, plus 5 a week. Now, again, I don't encourage, taking hella trades every single day. But even if we did the math, right, bro, 4 weeks in a month, 5, 10, 15, 20. If you did plus 5 a week, you're up plus 20 a month. Guys, is plus 20 a month good enough for you? You tell me. But people want plus 20 every single day. People want plus 20 every single week. But if we did 1% a day, right? As long as we partialed out, we got a little bit of 1%. As long as we get 1% a day, every day that you trade, right? Because most of you guys are trading every single day. Let's be honest. A lot of you guys are. If you guys focus on 1% a day rather than plus 5% a day, guys, a lot of you guys can focus on this because it's really about gaining your 1% and closing that 1% and securing the 1%. Right? There's many rules, there's many outcomes that can help, push you in the right direction or push you in the wrong direction. Obviously, that would be more one-to-ones. That's just the idea of the thing, though, right? If you were consistent of making that 1%, good things can happen. But obviously, the markets want to do their thing, and that's why we focus on 1-3s, right? 1-3s. We focus on 1-3s heavily. But I want you guys to understand, like, when you make it as simple as that, like, all I need is plus 2 or plus 3, right? I don't need plus 8 every time I trade. All I need is a plus 2 or plus 3. That's it. All I need is to break even and take partials. That's it. Yeah, guys, trade management, money management goes a long way when you're trading, right? When you have those dry spells, those partial points or those break even points are going to go ahead and help you. And then obviously when the market wants to go ahead and hit your entry, guys, this was today. We had news today. We had 2 sets of news. One at 5:30, one at 7. The market respected this structure and made new highs in this area. Like, even though, that's all we got today. That was the move of the day. That was the move of the day. You could have ended the profit or the end of the day in profit, depending, plus 300 plus pips. 300 plus pips. That's all you needed. Right? Let's drop down and see if they gave you anything. Structure doesn't look super clean. This would be like the only thing that was interesting, but that doesn't break structure or change direction here, right? So that's why it gave a lot of problems and a lot of drawdown. Let's go to the lower time frame though. Right here, guys, the 5-minute, it gives a lot of drama and emotional. I promise you. I promise. If you're in this trade, right, we have the BOS of the downside. We have the change of direction to the upside. Technically, this is our giant starting point. On this time frame, this is my left shoulder. This was your entry. Your stop loss is this low. If you didn't get in at the very, very low, it kind of made it a bit hard for you. But nonetheless, and even then, like, look at, that would have hit, spread is usually pretty good about not hitting break evens with indices, but depending on your broker, that could have been nasty. That could have been nasty. But that also continued to the new highs. 1 to 6. This right here was the snipe trade of the day. That was a snipe trade of the day. And that was at what time? 7. That's when news happened. Let's see. 5:30 there was news. 5:30 there was news. So this whole piece was the first news right here. My phone is always in the way. This whole piece from about here was the first set of news. This push up was the 7 o'clock news. But again, when you're focused on the trend, guys, you have to understand when we're in an uptrend and we know we want to buy in this area because of starting point, guys, we want to see consolidation. We want to see the market drop to our starting point. Don't get fooled on the buys on lower time frame, because I know on lower time frame they're showing you, nice head and shoulder right here. There's a nice head and shoulder to sell off. Market gave me a market open, head and shoulder to sell off. So as the market is selling off to me to come into my buy zone, everybody is thinking sell right here, sell right here, and then the market continues. And it may honor your sell to my buy and then continue. But when you know the trend, guys, trend is up. Focus on the uptrend. Focus on riding the trend. Riding the trend as best as you can. Don't bite on every counter trend. If you know you're in an uptrend, and this has been my biggest breakthrough, and it was super tough to understand and get through. But with a lot of backtesting, it helped. When I know that I'm looking for buys, I'm not biting on every head and shoulder to the upside. If that's my BOS, this is my change of direction. This right here gives me head and shoulder confirmation. Nothing inside of here gives me head and shoulder confirmation. I don't care if I get the market open giving me a head and shoulder. I don't care about this head and shoulder. I don't care about that. My head and shoulder is confirmation once we change direction right here. Give me a 12 if that makes sense. Give me a 12. Give me a 1, 2. Give me a 12 if that makes sense. Let me know. I got you, Austin. Look at Binance. I actually like that structure a lot. Can you guys see? I hope you guys can see it. Oh, no, you guys can't see it. Give me a second. Let me see if I can. Oh, you guys can. Hold on. What the heck? Wait, no, you guys can't. Give me a second. Let's see. Charts. Let's see. All right. Let's see if you guys can see it now. Trying to wait for the screen to change on the YouTube just for confirmation. Oh, there's such a lag. Oh, you guys were able to see it. Okay, cool. You guys were able to see it. Yeah, well, I do like this buy opportunity for sure. I do like that structure shift to the downside. The BOS to the downside, and we're getting a green BOS, but that green BOS is also indicating that we have a change of direction. So I do like that structure. Let's go to BTC. But that's Binance, but you're asking me to bark up BTC. I got you. Let me just make sure we're good. All right, we are good. Cool. Let's go to the daily time frame. Oops. All right. Let's go to the weekly. All right. So I would like to see if we can get into some buys down here. Like we already touched this weekly zone and like sniped it. Like that's a snipe. So don't be surprised if we start trickling our way. It may look like consolidation, but don't be surprised if we start making some pushes. From here, we have BOS at the downside, right? Consolidation, left shoulder, left shoulder. This is the head, and then we change direction, right? So, but we just have to wait. Let me see. But as of right now, we are in a weekly starting point, right? We have tapped into higher time frame starting points, higher time frame left shoulders, right? So let's take a look. It's looking very funky right now on lower time frames, but let's take a look. I'm always respecting the lower the time frame structure. Follow the structure: lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. That's it. This is my BOS to the downside. Mark that up. This is my change of direction. So now we're waiting. We have not gotten a change of direction. Now I would feel a lot more comfortable, especially if we get a change of direction with a nice large push and breakout. Once we get that, I would feel a lot more comfortable taking some more sales, or some more buys. I'm sorry. But as of right now, like that's literally what I'm waiting for right now. I'm just waiting for some more opportunities, and that's a snipe. Obviously, we can drop down lower. This is the monthly starting point, and that would be crazy if the market drops down to 60. But hey, that's some good discounted range. I mean, I'm no financial advisor, but I would participate if the market drops down to 60 or even down to 40, 30 range. But monthly starting point, so keep that in mind. But right now we are also inside of a monthly / weekly starting point. So realistically, honestly, guys, I'm really just waiting for structure to continue or to change direction. Let's drop down to the 4 hour. So market is even very, very choppy and ugly down here. Very, very choppy, very, very ugly. The way it's looking, honestly, the way it's looking, I would like to see if we can drop down one more time. You know, all of this would be considered my consolidation because that's exactly what it's looking like to me personally. Now, if we can drop down one more time and clear a lot of that and then continue, that's when I'm like, okay, now we're starting to get that momentum. Once we get this, I will start to look for some opportunities. But honestly, right now, I mean, I can be 1,000% wrong. I can be totally wrong, but this right here just looks like consolidation to me. It does, you know, it does. So I would like to see if we can, make our way down lower, sweep, change direction, and continue to the upside. And even right now, like this doesn't look like any Wyckoff setups. You know, if you know Wyckoff, this doesn't look ready just yet. You know, we don't have no spring, to the downside. You know, we don't have this, little push to the downside and to continue. Not yet. You know, so it looks like it's cooking. It really does look like it's cooking. But that is it, guys. I struggle with structure, still working. Austin, bro, you're struggling with structure, my boy? Hit me up, bro. Matter of fact, I'm going to hit you up. Austin, me and you, 2026, leveling up. You've been around the block for a minute. I've been around the block for a minute. I like you, bro. You know, you're always plugged in on these calls. And, I want to help, So if you're willing for some, a little bit of help, I'm willing to help, So, and that goes for everybody. But, I've known Austin for a minute, and he's always the first one to raise and ask his hand to ask questions. So, this is just me, raising my hand for you, Austin, and giving my time to you, bro, if you want it. You know what I'm saying? But I did, bro. Oh, you're BTC? Oh, hold on. Maybe I'm in the wrong. Let me take a look real quick, bro. Not yet. Give me a second. All right, let me go ahead and get that over. Yeah, I mean that even looks good too. You know, I do see that we're in equal highs though. I believe. If we go over here, where are we at? Okay, no, that just oh yeah, right here. So just remember we have this right, or maybe even this. Just remember we have that. So if that fails, you know we were trading within equal highs. But just see that. But no, I do understand what you're seeing. Like I would love to see if the market can drop down too. And right here, the structure doesn't align. It is aligning with sales structure. Right. The only thing I do not like personally is we have the equal highs here and here. But you know, doesn't mean you can't test trade. You know what I'm saying? Left shoulder. Let me see what yours looks like. You have the starting point. Awesome. Starting point. Awesome. Let's see. When do we get our change of direction? Our change of direction is here. This is a very sus change of direction. I do see that you used this as your break of structure and this as your starting point, and it goes hand in hand with my left shoulder anyways. So, you know, I do agree with this structure. You know, I just don't like this equal high. Let's take a look though. And even on this time frame, we're on the 4-hour time frame. This starting point, that starting point looks better to me. You know, because we have equal highs chilling right below it. So don't be surprised, Austin, if we get some profit here, and then the market wants to go ahead and act up, and then throw that wick, and then continue down. All right, do not be surprised. But if you see that, you already knew that, you were anticipating that. Now we can start making moves, right? Um, but now let me see. Let me see live stream. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, guys, let's go ahead. Pass it back to me. Right, that is it for tonight. Thank you for hopping on and staying on with me. I know we went a little bit over, but I appreciate you guys always asking questions, and I'm always down to give you guys some feedback. 2026 is starting very, very well. The markets are moving, so I hope you guys are participating, and I hope you guys are asking your questions, especially if you guys are new, right? Take advantage of these calls, one. Two, ask your questions, right? That's helped me so much year one and year two. And you're always going to ask questions. Like I'm year 4.5, going on 5, and I ask questions all the time with my mentors. You know, and it makes me feel confident, you know. So the more you ask questions, the more it's going to make you feel confident. Right now, guys, year is just starting. I'm more than willing to give you guys my time. If you guys need some one-on-one time, if you guys have any questions you guys want to go ahead and ask, write down your questions, pull up some markups, mark them up, send me some markups for feedback, guys. I am willing to help you. It doesn't matter what it is. There's no stupid question. No small question. Write down every question you have, and I will do my best to give you the best answer possible. But that is it for me, guys. I hope you guys liked the call, enjoyed the call, and got some gems and some value from this call. If you guys aren't subscribed, go ahead and give us a like, follow, and if you guys would like, go ahead and let us know. You know what educator you resonate with the best. You know, let us know in the chats or let us know in the comments. But with that being said, you guys have a great weekend. I will see you guys on Neri's call tomorrow.